Greetings and blessings. Welcome to this space dedicated to sharing what's on my heart. I'm Kara, and this is Apollo, and today we're going to show you what we got at the farmer's market. So we have a local farmer's market, happens twice a week. Today's Saturday, which is my favorite one. And I just wanted to show the world what we get as a family of 4 at the farmer's market, eating primarily animal-based. And we're very blessed. We live in an amazing climate, so this farmer's market goes on year-round, and there's always goodies for us, and we have an abundance of things that are really nutritious. And I just wanted to show you what we get in the fall as a animal-based family. So I'm gonna go grab all our stuff from in the cart outside, and I'll bring it in here and I'll show you what we got. Apollo's gonna help. So first things first, I want to preface this. I say animal-based, and we're like 90%. There's definitely some things that we eat regularly that are not technically animal-based, and we're not super anal about it. However, I will say that we definitely think it's really important to be healthy and mindful and intentional with the foods that we eat and the ways that we nourish our bodies in every sense of the phrase. So we focus on fruit. Luckily, we can get a lot of fruit pretty much any time of year. So this week, and this is most of the produce that we eat for a week. We don't get any meat from the market. We get all our meat like a subscription box because it's more economical for us, and the quality is really good. Grass-fed, grass-finished, all that sort of thing. So first we get organic strawberries, and I mean, look at these. These are like just the most delicious things you ever did see. We get everything organic. It's super important to not have like glyphosate or hexane or it dipped in shit like the seed, like I don't know, there's just so much nasty agricultural practices we want nothing to do with. So we know our farmers, we love them, we support them so that they can keep doing good things. So we get strawberries. This week we got a ton of tomatoes. I don't know, like we really love Paul Saladino and his whole philosophy, and he's really who got us on board with all this. Don't know what he thinks about tomatoes. They are technically a fruit, although they're part of the nightshade family. We don't seem to have any trouble with them. It really like levels up cooking ground beef and stuff a lot, so we love it. They're organic. They're like from the guy who started the market. They're delicious. So I stick to my tomatoes. Tomatoes, they're like, I mean, look. I go on and on. Look at how beautiful this little tomato is. Just like amazing. And the boys just sit in the cart and eat their tomatoes and their strawberries as we cruise along. What else? We got more tomatoes. We got these like heirloom ones. Big heirloom tomatoes. And then in this basket of wonderful goodies are like my 2 favorite things in the whole world. So we get avocado. Although we have an avocado tree, so we didn't get a ton, but we got a few because we don't, not all of ours are ripe right now. So we got 3 just massive, beautiful avocados. And then just, this is all passion fruit, just a ton of passion fruit. We love passion fruit. And we have a bunch of vines growing, but again, like they're not always ready to go. So we get some to tide us over. Put this over here. And then this week is really fun because we get our like monthly ration of honey. This is a gallon of honey, and a gallon, half a gallon, a gallon. I think it's a gallon. Sure costs a lot, but this is like all the sugar we eat besides fruit, right? Maybe a little bit of maple syrup, but not even that much. So this is our like honey. This is our honey ration for the month. It'll probably last us a month. You know, family of 4. My husband really likes raw milk with honey in it, and so do my boys. And you know, I drink my coffee and my tea with honey, and like bake animal-based stuff with honey. And yeah, so honey, lots of good local raw honey, not tested for glyphosate, but I really do trust the quality, and not many people here even use that stuff. So cool, big heavy thing of honey. And then I know this is not animal based. Again, we're like you know 90%, right? So we just get a ton of mushrooms, lion's mane, big beautiful lion's mane, and a bunch of shiitakes, and this new kind that my husband wanted to try. They look very, very hippy dippy trippy. Oops. And apparently they're really good. So we'll get some mushrooms from the market. What else? Oh, this is our weekly egg ration, and this is all just 5 dozen eggs, soy-free, corn-free, you know, organic, pasture-raised, so good, like amazing. $10 for a dozen, you know, 50 dozen, I mean 50 dozen, maybe one day, maybe if we have more kids. 5 dozen eggs, barely lasts us a week. We eat so many eggs. Our boys love eggs, we love eggs, so this is just the egg bag. And then what else do we have? Oh, I see. When I wasn't paying attention, my husband snuck sourdough sprouted English muffins into our cart. English muffins, I guess is in this week's ration. And then we got bee pollen this week. Like, very exciting. We don't buy these things every week, but we got bee pollen and our big honey from the same people. And then, yeah, definitely not animal based, but we get onions. We love onions. They don't seem to hurt our tummies. And I am really, you know, not subscribed to Saladino. However, I do really respect his opinions, and I think that his way of looking at diet and human evolution and what's biologically compatible is like very logical. So his whole thing about like plant defense, chemicals, I'm super on board with it. However, I do wonder if vegetables and things that grow underground are better perhaps for us than like kale. And if their defense is perhaps growing in the soil. So that's a question I'd like to pose to Saladino. Something that I wonder, having a little bit of an anthropology background and loving his logic. That makes sense to me. And I know that eating tubers and root vegetables and such is definitely in our human history. I know that like some of the hunter-gatherers still do that, the few that exist. So I wonder, are these okay? Are these the same as other vegetables and such? Because these grow underground, right? So we got onions. I'm just gonna add them to our bowl that I just put in here. And then, you know, like I said, 90%, right? So we got a bunch of little snap peas. I love these. My boys love these. They feel benign. They digest them, you know. They don't show up in their poop. So good. That's actually it for this week. It's not a ton. Like we're eating so much meat that this is very like supplementary, and we have fruit from last week, and you know, if we find fruit like grown on trees locally, we'll just go harvest it. So I'm just trying to think, like, Last week we got apples and zucchini, and we have bananas that are like, we still have, so we have lemon and lime. Like, we don't need to get a ton of stuff every week, and I freeze. A lot of times when there's like a certain fruit in season, I'll just like buy a ton and like freeze it so that we have it. We can make smoothies or yogurt or whatever. So that's it. Really simple. But again, this will last us like a week. And we have, you know, other things from last week that we might not have gotten through, and we eat so much meat. We eat so much meat that we just don't need a ton of other stuff. So that's it. Just a tiny little snapshot. Maybe I can do this next week as well. It's fun. It's fun doing a little show and tell. So hope you enjoy. Hope you get some inspiration to maybe eat a little more nutritiously, or think about the food you're consuming and why, and who's telling you to consume what food and why. Just some good things to consider. So blessings. Thanks for joining me.